Hey, friends, I hope the morning's treating you well. It's a really cold day here in Indy. I'm on my front porch. I had no idea it would be this cold, or I would have put a coat on. Got a good wind going. And I'm feeding my favorite squirrel, Minnie. She's running around out here. Here you go, Minnie. Here you go. Oh, she's right here next to me. She's sitting on the thing. Let me see if I can show you guys this here. Can you see Minnie? Hey, Minnie. All right, we'll get back to work here. So, that's pretty much what's going on here. I wanted to talk about the future of this channel while Minnie hangs out and chomps next to me. A lot of you are new. Got a lot of new people here, and maybe I would go through a really quick backstory and lead us up to where we are now. But I've played music and made records, played guitar, sang in front of people and all that for a living for quite a while. I'm sorry if I look away. I'll probably get distracted with the squirrels. But I've played music for a long time for a living. I haven't had a day job in about 20 years. And just complete DIY world outside of the industry or whatever. But I've been fortunate. I keep pressing ahead and things just keep getting better. And somewhere along the line, you'd go do interviews because you try to spread the word. That's the idea. And I'd agree to go do an interview, and I just never enjoyed it. Never enjoyed being interviewed by other people. And it just always, the platforms I was on just weren't that great. There weren't a big audience, and it left me feeling empty. And I had one really, really bad interview in Rotterdam, and it just went terrible. And I thought, screw it, man. I don't work for anybody. I don't have to do this. I don't have to be interviewed. I'll just, that's it. I'm not going to be interviewed anymore. And then the world yawned, and once the mania of that moment wore off, I kind of, had a little talk with myself. Like, okay, big shot, what are you going to do? How are you going to get the word out? And I am a big believer that you can't just be against things in life. You have to come up with solutions. You have to come up with solutions that work for you, and be the change in the world that you'd like to see happen. I'm a big believer in that. So I thought about it. I thought, okay, if I think I know so much about interviews, maybe I'll start interviewing friends of mine that I thought were very, very interesting people, and I'll start archiving these stories and putting them out into the world. And I started a podcast called Thanks for Giving a Damn. It was very, very scary to do this and throw it out into the world because I might suck at it. But I thought I need to do this, and I had friends that I would hear be interviewed, and I knew they had these great stories because we talked about it in backstage areas or whatever. But, the interviewers would just ask them the most boring questions. And I thought, well, what if, I'll try to archive those kind of stories. That's what I did. And when I started publishing them, I did it weekly for 2 years. It's called Thanks for Giving a Damn If I Haven't Said That. It immediately, found an audience, found a really good audience. This is a while ago now. And I don't know, it was just one of the smarter things I ever did. I didn't make any money off of it. I didn't even think about that. Didn't even consider that there might be money in it. Just like, this is a great tool I can feature people that I care about and do everything I can to make them look great, and create a platform that I wish already existed. Something that when I would go to be interviewed, something that I would hope I would show up to. And it's the word spread, grassroots, and people loved it. And it about killed me to do it for 2 years. The first 2 years, once a week, and it ate up a lot of my time. But I looked at it as if this is an investment in myself, in my community, and so I did it. I did that for years. After the first 2 years of weekly, I just kind of went to whenever I could, get it out there. And there were times when I'd be on tour in some foreign country, in some city that I'd never been in, and I knew there was something amazing just outside the hotel room but that I'd like to go see and I may never see again. But I stayed in the hotel room and edited that week's podcast, and that was just kind of part of the whole deal. And so somewhere along the line, Pandora reached out to me. Somebody there was a fan of that, and they asked me to host a history of country music type show that they had, and there were 3 million subscribers to it. I did that for 2 seasons. It was great. It was like the most positive experience. It was absolutely beautiful. They paid me well, and it was just like, it was just really beautiful. And then the pandemic came along, and I was locked up in the house, and there's all this darkness of that moment. And I had 5 tours canceled, and I didn't see any end in sight. I was honestly worried about money. It's the first time in my life I ever even thought about money, considered money as a, part of, when I go into things, I just go into it because I wanted to do it, and it would work out. And I never thought about money, even though I lived very, very simply. And but that moment was just scary and ugly, and I thought, man, I have to distract myself somehow, and so I don't just sit in the house and rot. And I thought, I'm just going to talk to people on YouTube, and I didn't know anything about YouTube, so I can turn on the camera and I can talk to people. And since I was a kid, when I talk to people, they calm down, and I don't know what it is, but they just kind of calm down and relax. And in the process, I feel better and would relax. So I just thought, I'm going to do that. This is going to be my USO tour. I'm going to talk to people, and for 10 minutes on that day, we can all be distracted by talking about John Prine or whatever. And I learned something, that when you talk about John Prine and show people, this is a person whose music meant a lot to me, all of these other people come in. It's like trying to throw something positive out into the world. I talk about it like putting a message in a bottle and throwing it into the ocean and see if anybody found it. And a lot of people found it. And so when I would publish like a John Prine story, the nicest people in the world showed up. I mean, the nicest people. And so in this moment when I needed some form of positivity, by throwing positivity out into the world, I got it back, and it was beautiful. And this channel grew. And when the pandemic was over, I realized that this was just so much more of a ripe platform. I get a bigger audience, more people hearing these stories. So when I started doing the interviews, I would do them on YouTube, and that's kind of how all of this started. It's very organically, and I just kept doing it. And now the problem with this brings us to now. I'll just say right up front, I'm going to do this. I'm going to continue doing this. I have no intention of stopping doing this. I enjoy it. I think it's something positive that I can add to a community. I should also say, man, the podcast had its own community, and people still come up to me. Someone came up to me in Stockholm, said they loved the podcast, and then they showed me, this is I think a year ago, then they showed me their baby named Otis, that they named after me, which is freaking crazy, because it threw a message in a bottle, on the other side of the world, somebody picked it up. Just beautiful, beautiful people I've met through all of this. And but yeah, I got distracted there off to the side, but this community around this channel is just like even bigger, and it's very nice people. There just aren't any assholes. It's very rare somebody comes along and it's just a jerk or whatever. Which think about how rare that is on the internet, on YouTube, like in 2025, and it's because of you guys. It's a lot of you, and it's because of me, and we should all pat ourselves on the back about that every now and then. But so I'm going to continue doing this, but the problem is it's just me. I'm the only person that does this stuff. Every now and then, my best friend, Todd Fox, will come along with me, and he'll help out with a camera here and there, whatever. But, man, that is like a minute fraction of, what is there? There's almost 900 videos on this channel. and Todd might have helped with 20 or 30 or something like that. So I do all of the work. Everything that you see, I do that, and it takes a lot of time. And I'm a guy who I have to make a living. I have responsibilities with my family, and so I need this to support itself. You know, it can't be a place where I just constantly bleed money, and it's kind of been a little up in this throughout the years, and that's fine if that's what it is, but that means I'll be able to devote less time to it. So I'm asking you guys, I have a Patreon. If you would like to help support this channel, I get a lot of comments about how, you know, you guys, sometimes you think it should be in the Smithsonian or in the Country Music Hall of Fame, or which I'm very flattered by that, but it's a little over the top, but I'm flattered by that. But if you believe that, you know, for $5 a month, you can keep this whole thing going. And I have channel members, which have been going on. These people have made it possible. The stuff that you see is because of the people who choose to support it. If they don't support it, it goes away, or at least it ends up dwindling to be way less. And that's fine, man. And if you don't have money, that's fine. I totally get it. I've had stretches in my life. I had 2 years where I lived with 11 people in a 2-bedroom apartment, and we lived cheap. You know, I understand what it's like to not have that much money. I've had 10 of us live in a 2-bedroom house before, and luckily those days are gone, but we lived simply. It was 48 degrees a couple mornings ago in the house because we don't have the furnace on. Since it's April, we shouldn't do it. We live within our means. We all do. And so if you choose not to support it, that's fine. I want you to understand that. Just watch the videos. That helps. You know, tell some friends. Always click like or leave a comment or something. It helps get things around. But if you choose to support it, you know, I have in Patreon, I have it set up where you can like give a lot of different amounts of money, but everybody gets the same thing, because I don't want your financial situation to dictate your access to this stuff. So all of the interviews are out here on the regular channel for everyone for free, just to watch, and it's going to continue that way. But I make extra stuff. I get comments where people say that these Saturday morning videos where I'm just sitting here talking to you, that's their favorite part of this, and I appreciate that. I have good news for you. There are about 300 videos in the Patreon area, in the channel members area. I call it the super secret area. I think there's like 300 videos there, mostly of me sitting and doing this, talking about what happens in the day, and when I'm on tour. In the last month, I made a 45-minute video in my hotel room in Belgium as I changed strings on the guitar, telling a lot of stories. I made a half-hour video walking around Amsterdam, and then the next day I made like a 45-minute video walking around Amsterdam, showing some of my favorite places that aren't on the tourist maps or whatever, some of which... in Austin, went to a party, a whole lot of people, some of them you know, like musicians and you know and like, were playing songs there with a backing band, including myself. And there's 45 minutes of that on behind the super secret area or whatever. Went to that graveyard Ray Wiley Hubbard talked about in Hugo, Oklahoma. That was circus performers. That stuff's there. I forget how long that video is, 25, 30 minutes, I don't know. I forget these things. A graveyard in Austin where Jerry Jeff Walker's buried, Tom Landry. Man, so many people. A lot of people buried there. I walked around there and talked about that. It's about a half hour or something. I'm just saying, there's a lot of stuff like that. Me sitting out back having coffee at Joe's and talking there in South Austin. And that's in the last month or so. So I'll try to put up something once a week in there, and and I should also say, there on Patreon you can join for free, and there is stuff for you to see there, and I try to share stuff for free. So if you just want to join, there won't be as much stuff, and then I'll try to find ways to entice you to come over to the area where everybody else is there. But I don't know. I hate talking about this and asking, for support on the channel. I really don't feel comfortable or good about it, but I've learned over the years, when I bring it up and ask people to support, a lot of people do. And if I don't mention it, it trickles in over time and everything. But so I just need to ask it more often. So I'm asking you guys, if you enjoy this stuff and you want to support it, do. If you don't, that's fine. It's absolutely fine. These are hard times, and we all have to make choices, and I totally get that. And I appreciate every one of you being here. And my squirrels have eaten every single peanut that I brought out here, so I'll take that as a signal that I should probably wind this up and go inside and warm up. But thank you guys for being here. I'll put links to all of that stuff down below where you can join. And I'll see you somewhere down the road. Much love to you.